I'm about to find out if dumping a mountain of Nesquik into sourdough is a good idea. Welcome to letter C of my alphabet challenge. I'm going for triple threat C: chocolate chip, cherries, and cocoa powder. But I went to 3 different stores and couldn't find cocoa powder anywhere, so I'm using Nesquik. I mixed my flour, water, and starter and let it rest for 30 minutes. I added my salt and a splash of water, but then I did something I've never done before. I split the dough. I want to get a swirl on the inside of this loaf, so I added the Nesquik to the smaller half. I had to keep adding more and more powder to get that dark color, but that just means that I'm caking way more sugar into the dough than I planned for. It was sticking to my hands like crazy, but after some work, it actually looked rich and smooth. It smells like a sugar factory, so I'm just a little bit worried how the bulk fermentation is gonna go because I have a feeling it might just go off the rails. I put them into separate bowls for 30 minutes. When I got to the first stretch and fold, the plain dough was stiff, but the chocolate dough was incredibly stretchy. I'm not sure why, but it's making me so nervous. Usually, I add my inclusions during the second set of stretch and folds, but I want that perfect swirl, so I'm forcing myself to do lamination. I straight up hate lamination, but it's the only way to get the look that I want. When I was done my stretch and folds, it was only 10:55 in the morning, so I figured I'd go live my life and see what happens. By 2:04 in the afternoon, my bulk fermentation was done. I laminated the plain dough, and usually I get scared and I don't stretch it enough, but today I went with my gut and got my dough really thin. I was so proud, but then I ripped the chocolate dough while stretching it over the top. I started layering chocolate chips and the cherries, but here's the problem. The cherries were frozen, so even after draining them, they were still soaking wet. I kept folding and adding more inclusions until I eventually just rolled them up like a giant burrito. The liquid from the cherries started messing up the dough immediately. I tried to stitch Mr. Remy up, but he was so slippery from the cherry juice that he barely held it together. I usually cold proof for 24 hours, but life kind of got in the way this weekend, and I didn't take this loaf out for 48 hours. He was kind of falling apart at this point. I floured my dough, got Mr. Remy onto my bread sling, and popped him into the oven. And well, you can see the results. It was a total disaster. Between the 48-hour wait and the massive amounts of Nesquik sugar, the dough just couldn't handle it. It didn't really rise, so it came out looking like a chocolate brick. I'm honestly gutted because that lamination was pretty. But I guess that's just how the alphabet challenge goes. Sometimes you win, and sometimes you bake cherry-flavored rocks. Even though Mr. Remy looks like he's seen better days, we're moving on to letter D. I'm gonna need a win after this one. Don't forget to give this video a like to show some love for poor smashed up Remy, and I'll see you next time.